Hey, what's up you guys? I'm doing a review on my vepr 762x39 today. I think I paid around close to $1,000 when this first came out. I think in 2000, or when I was able to get one, I think in 2013. I can't remember if it was early 2013 or late 2013. Anyways, a couple of things I've got on this rifle that I've upgraded with. I've got a primary arms red dot with 50,000 hour battery life on it. I think I paid $169 for this thing. Next, RS Regulate T1 aim point low mount. I mean that optic is super low. I mean I would think 1/3 co-witnessed. I think this was like $70. The RS mount right here, which is kind of slanted a little more forward, a little more aerodynamic, and I think this is about $119. I have the Definitive Arms fighter brake. Get this thing in focus. Yep, Definitive Arms fighter brake, 14x1 left hand. This is just for another build, but it's on there. We have a Krebs custom key mod, forward handguard, and safety. That handguard is probably one of the best handguards I've ever had. Here's actually the box for it, but this is the box it came in. vepr, so it has the slanted. It has the, this is different. This part right here is gonna be different on it if you get this for a vepr opposed from like a Sega or something, because you got this bulge here, so it ends right there. But it's very well made handguard. One thing I did learn when I first bought it, I put my optic on top of here, and at 100 yards, a 10-inch steel plate, I can hit it every time. But once I start shooting it on paper, it was all over the place, and I couldn't figure out what the problem was. And this is what the problem is. Right here, it has a little wobble in it. I mean, just very little. And that's just because the way it comes off, you pull these tabs right here, slide it back, and it comes out. If I can get the damn thing to do it. But that's how it comes off. So when you put it back in, these little plates have tension on them, and that's what holds it on. If you're looking for the best accuracy you can get with a red dot or optic, I wouldn't put it on the front of this. I'd get a side mount. But if this is all you have, it'll still work. You're just not going to have pinpoint accuracy. It's going to be a little left, a little right, a little up, a little down sometimes. It's not going to ever be perfect, but it works. Like I said, 10-inch plate at 100 yards, and like I said, you'll still knock a man down after 200 yards with that thing. I was shooting well out to 200 yards with it, and then when I realized it was just that slight wiggle in the top there, and I got a side mount for it, my accuracy ended up being a lot better. Also, I have a Magpul ALG or AFG2. It's a larger, it's not a pistol grip, but whatever it is, slanted grip, I don't know. But I love these because you can get a better hold on a rifle. It just feels more natural when you're holding a rifle. And I got my Surefire light on there with the switch on it. And got a whole grip. I like the whole grips. They're rubber. I broke my right hand a couple years ago, and I've always got problems with it. And this grip is very comfortable for me, and I like the whole grips a lot. I've got a Canis vepr M4 adapter mount and tube, and this actually, I had another mount on here, and I had to cut off my rear tang, which I wasn't really happy to do, but at the time I couldn't find a lot of options for it, so I cut off the rear tang and put that mount on. It was a side folding mount, whatever. Then they came out with this, and this is actually hollow behind this, and I mean, just goes, your rear tang just slides right in it and is inside the tube, so you don't have to cut it off. You don't have to do anything to your rifle. You just It's mounted on through the bolt on the inside of your trunnion, or the screw on the inside of your trunnion, and then your pistol grip nut is also is what holds this on, and it's solid, very solid. I wish I'd have found that sooner, because I would have never cut that rear tang off, but it is what it is. So, and of course, you know, you got Magpul CTR, I believe it's a CTR butt stock with the that locks. And that's about it. You know, I've got probably around, I'm getting probably close to 4,000 rounds with this rifle. I know I got over about 3,400 rounds, so it's somewhere around there. The rifle runs great. Also, I just put in yesterday, because I did a trigger job myself, and this is probably the first rifle I ever did a trigger job on, and yeah, you talking about a hairpin trigger. I mean, you pull, you barely put your finger on that trigger, and it's gonna go off. So I was getting kind of uncomfortable with it, so I got an ALG trigger, and let me take this out because it is loaded. Okay, so I got an ALG trigger in this thing, and I'll tell you what, if you've never had an ALG trigger or shot one, get one. They're like less than 50 bucks, and I'll tell you what, this trigger is, it has the slightest reset, and it has no trigger slap. And you know, I've never been I don't know, a trigger snob is what I like to call them, because, you know, oh, my trigger, this trigger is, you get trigger slap, or, you know, this trigger is horrible. And, you know, you know, I'm not a trigger connoisseur, so you know, it's never been a big deal to me. You know, I never noticed. I just put a good amount of rounds through rifles, you know, and I've never could really tell a big deal from having a good trigger and a bad trigger. I know, like, the one I had in here was too light. I could tell that difference, but I couldn't tell from a bad trigger and a good trigger. And I tell you what, when I put that ALG trigger in there, that's a good trigger. I've got another rifle in review here. And I took both these to the range. I just got my other rifle, and I needed to take this to the range too. I just put a new fresh coat of paint on it, and I took the optic off, put it back on. Just wanted to make sure it held zero, and you know, shot it with the new trigger in there. And, you know, I can't really tell anything. And then I got the new rifle I have, and I shot it, and I was like, man, this trigger is tearing my finger up. And I didn't realize the big difference in the triggers until I shot a rifle right after I shot this one. I went back to shooting this one, and I was like, wow, this is a great trigger. So 50 bucks, you can't beat it. I would invest in an LG trigger. Tapco makes a decent trigger, but I'd have to say this LG trigger it just completely exceeds what anything Tapco has done so far. So LG for me is what I'm looking to put in probably the rest of my rifles. I've also got a Vickers. I get it. I got a Vickers sling, blue 4 sling that goes on here, which I need to put this in a better place, so my hand keeps hitting that right there. And I'm tearing up my new paint job. Look at that. Well, not really. I just use Walmart camo paint, man. It's, you know, I'll paint this thing 4 times a year. You know, it gets a different paint job every couple months. So, I like this Vickers blue 4 sling. It's pretty slick. I'm not great with running it with a sling on. I'm still practicing, so trying to get better at it. Of course, I got my Bakelite magazines that I run. Sometimes, I think most of them I got them labeled 47 or 74, so I don't get my mags, which I'm not gonna get them confused, but my wife and daughter will. So there you have it. That's my vepr 7.62x39. What I like about these rifles the most are it has a thicker receiver, and it has that trunnion bulge right there. It's a lot thicker. The barrel is a pretty thick barrel. Let me grab another rifle real quick, and I'll show you the difference in barrel sizes. Okay, so here's a barrel comparison, so you can get a good idea. I mean, this has a thick barrel on it. I mean, that barrel is no joke. But it shoots well. I mean, it's not an AR. You know, it doesn't shoot a 5.56 round, but for me, it does what I need it to do. So this gun, when I bought it, I think it comes in at pretty much right at 9 pounds. So you know, if you're looking for, you know, trying to be lightweight as you can, this is not going to be the rifle for you. I mean, you're looking at, like I said, 9 pounds, and that's naked. You know, you put a loaded magazine in this thing and side mount with an optic, and you know, change the handguard, which actually this handguard is, I mean, this thing's super light. I mean, I think it's lighter than the wood that came on it, and the heat transfer on it is like minimum. I've put a ton of rounds through that thing. It's never got hot enough for me to say, ooh, I can't hold this. But anyways, this gun, I mean, it is a little heavy. But the good thing about that is the recoil is minimum, especially help to the definitive arms fighter brake. That does help mitigate the recoil a lot. But besides that, like I said, the weight, of course, helps mitigate the recoil. And you know, right now this is my go-to rifle. I mean, I've got other rifles, and I gotta admit, this is probably my favorite rifle. If something happens, I know I can grab this rifle, and it's ready to go. It's going to do it, or I'm going to be able to do what I need to do with the rifle. Like I said, I put many rounds through it. I trust this rifle with my life at the moment and my family's life. So if anything goes down, I need something to defend my household, or you know, our livelihood or liberty. This is going to be what it's going to get done with right here. I love this thing, and I believe right now, as I posted this video in March here, Atlantic has these right now, I think, for about $8.50. So I mean, hell, it's $100, $150 cheaper than pretty much what I paid for it. And I mean, you know, I got one. I love it. But I'm looking to build another rifle, but I'm looking to build a lot lighter rifle. But like I said, I wouldn't let the weight stop me from buying the rifle. I love it, and most AK guys. I was at the range, and a guy looked at it. He said, "Oh man," he said, "Oh, that's one of those new Ruger 5.56s, ain't it?" I said, "Man," I said, "Dude, that's an AK." He was like, "No, that's not an AK." I said, "Yeah, it is. I mean, this is an older guy. He's in his 50s, and he just looked mind-boggled." And I said, "You want to shoot it?" And he said, "No, no." I said, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, okay, I'll shoot it." And he shot it, man, and he sat it down. He looked at me. He said, "Man, I really like that gun." He said, "I really like it." And he started asking me where I got it and how much I paid for it. So I think he's probably in the market for an AK now. But you know, I'm an AK guy, and I love the AKs. And if you're looking in the market for AK, I would say a vepr and 7.62 by 39 platform is a good platform to run with. Like I said, if you can deal with the little extra weight, you know, weight adds up. This is not going to be the only thing you're going to have to carry if you have to carry this rifle around. But I can deal with it. I like it a lot. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching my videos, and I'm gonna roll in some shooting footage for you guys to see how this gun runs and how I run with it. So thanks. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments down below, or if you got any questions, leave me some questions, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys. So what I'm using here is Golden Tiger ammo, the 20-round tank mag, I believe is what they called. And I'm gonna just sight this in real quick. At 50 yards is what it looked like. So right here's a group. That's one group right there. That's another group. Let's see here. That's a group. That's another group. That wasn't so great. And that's a group. So I mean, the accuracy isn't horrible. I mean, is it an AR? No, it's not. Is it enough to put somebody down at 100 yards or 200, 300 yards? Plenty enough for me. So there is a penny. So that's what your accuracy is looking like. So to me, not too bad. I can deal with it. Oh, there goes my penny. But you know, for me with a rifle, I'm looking for a minute of man, not MOA, not minute of angle. You know, so if you want to have a pissing contest with your rifle, you're probably going to win with me if you got an AR. I'm not the greatest shot, but you know, 400 yards with a red dot is going to work just fine for me. And I think any average other Joe, I mean, it's perfectly fine for as well. That one fell. That's not good. Already going through max fucking change. Oh, magazine on the ground. pull. Oh. This shit is exhausting.
Oh, I think I was smacking on my gum the whole time.
Are you fucking serious? Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't have any more ammo. That's some bullshit, Lord. Now you got to come out with me tomorrow and do it all over.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's it. Well, drive half an hour for nothing?